What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video, boys, yeah, it's almost Christmas time, and we're gonna make some Christmas dreams come true today. The winner, Trevor, is coming to pick up one of these two bikes. Now, in the video, when we, I guess you'd say, unveiled who the winner was for this thing, he did not know which bike he was gonna pick. So he's gonna be here today. He's gonna be able to sit on them and decide, does he want the 2025 Busa or the 2025 GSX-R 1000? It is going to be interesting. It is December 23rd. One of these puppies is going home with him for Christmas Day, guys. And $5,000. Absolutely insane win for him. But let's get on to what we're here, where our other part of the video, 2026 Hayabusa Special Edition. Fully hooked up, more Mafia style already. We got extended swing arm, we got exhaust on it, but we're gonna be doing some more new modifications today, boys. Montgomery Motorsports has supplied us with a carbon fiber airbox lid. Now this airbox lid is much bigger than the stock airbox lid. We're gonna show that here in just a second. We're gonna put this bike on the dyno, tune it, see what this airbox lid is worth, and then we're gonna be doing some BT Moto velocity stacks. This is going to be an interesting test. I'm excited to see the results. Stay with us, guys. Here we go. Alright, guys, Trevor has arrived. He has not seen the bikes yet. Let's take him over, see the bikes, and see what. Do you have an idea of what you want?
Leaning towards the Busa.
Okay. Let's see what we said. Because I was wrong. We, of course, me, her, the guys that work here, you know, we were just guessing.
Well, see, I got 1,000.
Oh, do you?
And it's white and blue, so I was kind of thinking, I want the red and black.
Okay. So we looked on your Instagram. Of course, you don't post much on there.
No, it's been a while.
And I saw like a GSX-R 750 or 600 or something. And I'm like, oh, well, he's definitely going to get to 1,000. Because the Busa is an intimidating machine. Like, this thing is, it's definitely super badass. And so is the 1000.
Yeah.
Well, but
that's like, it looked good sitting next to my light blue one, but
yeah.
Since I was a kid too, so.
Oh.
No, well, that's cool, man. So I was I was 200% wrong. Sit on it, see what you think, man. So you're gonna notice right off the rip, this is no normal Busa, and I do have seats for them too.
Okay.
So, because as far as comfort,
yeah, for if you're riding a little bit longer.
yeah, if you, but when you sit on a Busa, I don't know if you've ever sat on one before.
No.
But they're big bikes.
Yeah.
I would refer to it as a big pig. But this thing is nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's crazy lightweight, crazy low to the ground, and set up ready to go to the racetrack. Now sit on the GSX-R. This one is going to be crazy lightweight, crazy different as well.
A whole lot lighter than mine was.
Yeah. HOA friendly.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, all right.
Mountain away from people.
Yeah, okay.
Don't like it.
Yeah. I'm about to say it's definitely loud. The GSX-R, of course, is fairly quiet, pretty mild, pretty tame sounding. All right, guys, I think the decision's been made. Take a look at what Trevor picked. The 2025 Hayabusa He's already got a 23 GSX-R 1000. So I definitely agree with his decision on the Busa. Here he goes. 25 Busa headed back to Tennessee. Alright guys, here we go. I've been running the bike a time or two on the dyno with our stock setup. So stock air filter, nothing but the exhaust and the ECU Flash. We got good numbers. I'm dialing in the tune perfectly on everything now, so we have the best possible setup like this. Then we're going to install the BT Moto stacks in the Sprint air filter, see what that gives us. Then we're going to try out this carbon fiber airbox lid from Montgomery. So I think this lid is definitely going to help on built bikes. We're going to find out if it helps on stock bikes. So a stock bike, we can only ingest so much air with the stock cams, all the stock stuff. I think where you're really going to see the gains from this airbox is when you have bigger cams and you also have bored throttle bodies. Now these are just my guesses before we get into this. You can put as much air as you want on the top, but if you got to go through the throttle bodies that are this big, you still can only get so much air in there to make more power. We're going to find out here in just a second. That's why we do these tests. Pretty consistent numbers. Ran it 3 times back to back to back. As you can see, our horsepower is pretty solid every single time. 183, let's call it 183.6. That seems to be about an average number. Now let's get the parts installed and do it step by step to see what each gain gets us on this 26 Hayabusa. All right guys, so as you can see, the factory velocity stacks have been removed, or at least one of them. I just wanted to do this like this so you guys could see the difference. The BT Moto stacks are much, much shorter and compared to the stock stacks. And then now we're putting in a Sprint air filter. It had a stock air filter in it before. So the Sprint air filter is typically worth, let's just say 2 or 3 horsepower on the dyno. It's worth a little more than that in real life on the street. But what we're trying to do with the BT stacks is it's gonna fix this how it falls off. So you can see here we make our peak power, let's just say 98, 9900 RPMs. And then she tanks pretty good by 11,000. We're at 170 horsepower where we were at 183. So we're gonna see what those velocity stacks are gonna do for us out here. Now we might lose 1 or 2-ish horsepower there. We'll try to tune that out, but typically with these stacks, They don't really lose much of anything. If you do lose something, it's 1 or 2. And then out here is where you really gain the power. But we're gonna have this other velocity stack swapped out and run this thing here in just a second.
Here we go, boys. Velocity stacks, air filter are installed. Airbox lid still stock. Let's see what we got with just this.
Wow, very impressive results. So we did lose a little bit more in the mid-range, but I got our fueling is messed up here. I got to fix that. And then our fueling is also messed up out here. You can see we had a nice straight line everywhere, but now the bike is going pretty lean, which means she needs more fuel. But look at the power differences. You see we went up, we pulled that 183, 4 horsepower we were pulling, and it draws a straight line after that, where we were way down. What was it? I think 173 at like 11,000 RPMs. So now we got a lot of stuff going on. Hold on, let me get rid of some of this stuff. So we're looking at green and we're looking at blue. Okay, that makes it pretty easy to see. And we did lose a couple here, but I'm gonna fix that. But this out here is big time differences. 11,000 RPMs. You can see that we need, let's just call it 7 or 8% more fuel. So I'm gonna stick that more fuel in there. That's gonna help our power out. But we picked up 15 horsepower with those simple modifications, and I've done 0 tuning changes so far. We got our numbers up. Let's compare. 186.50 is what we got just then. So let's look at this, see what kind of total numbers we lost from in the mid-range from the stacks compared to the I guess you would say stock velocity stacks. Let's see what we got there. We got a little dip in our tune here. I could go back and fix that, in which I will, but just for comparison's sakes, I think this was our best. So we did end up losing a couple here. What do we got? From 10, sometimes this gets confusing, especially when your torque curve crosses. We went from 103 to where we were at 109. So we lost about 6 horsepower there, and that's at 5,500 RPMs. here at 7,000 RPMs, we lost 4 horsepower. So overall, not bad. And I'm sure I can tweak and dial this in some more to maybe where it loses 1 or 2. But the biggest thing here is, guys, if you're gonna be, and a lot of things too, or I should go back and say, if you take your bike out and you got your bike is stock height and you don't have it lowered or anything like that, and you nail the gas at 5,000 RPMs, it wheelies right here anyway. So if we lose 3 or 4 or 5 horsepower, does it really lose? Because we can't use that power. So yeah, it lost it on the dyno, but in the street, I don't feel like this is gonna slow us down, but I feel like this is gonna speed us up a ton. So must have modification. Now, let's throw this airbox lid on and see if we can find some more. Ooh, man, if we don't pick up no horsepower, I wish we could get like a clear gas tank, dude. That thing looks so much better. You can see it's a lot taller in the front. Back, feels like it's close to the same. It's also more squared off too, where the back one over here slopes down. So let's see what this does in terms of horsepower. We are ready to fire it up now. Good thing is, only takes about, once you already got all this stuff off, only took us about 2 minutes to put it on. So no tuning changes were done. Tune's the exact same as what we had. Let's see what we got now. Alright guys, so our peak horsepower is about the same, but I can see in the mid-range it changed it quite a bit. So let's go and zoom in on these runs. We were on our green run was our best. Let's go and see what we got as the differences now when we take. So the green one, 186.50, and you see that the 50 part is on that little tail right there. Everywhere else we're actually about the same. So the green run was our best, and then this ranks them on how we just ran them. So let's get rid of some of these so we can clear some of this stuff up. So back-to-back runs. Let's make neither one of them highlighted so we can see it a little easier. Hold on a second, guys. There we go. Got skinny lines now. So our red is with our airbox. Our green is without our airbox. And you can see where down here, it did pick us up a couple horsepower. So let me get rid of the torque as well. Not that, we're just trying to see things easier here and cleaner. So 3 horsepower from the airbox lid at 5,000 RPMs. 8,000 RPMs, we got 1. It's basically just about 1 horsepower everywhere. If we go and we zoom on this, you can see our differences. It looks like 1 or 2 horsepower about everywhere. There's 3 horsepower right there at 8,700. So overall, pretty good gains. And then you can also see here that it did change our air-fuel ratio a little bit and made the bike a little bit leaner. So right here, we went from 13.1 air-fuel ratio to 13.5. So I could do some tuning changes and definitely get a little more horsepower there. I'm gonna tweak that. Let's see what I can find. All right, guys, I couldn't leave it alone. I had to keep messing with it. 188.19 horsepower. Nice. Look at how smooth this power curve is compared to what we started with. Overall, huge improvements. Now, this airbox lid, this is a prototype that we are testing for Montgomery Motorsports. There may be revisions to this thing. Who knows, guys, but as of right now, it is not available for sale on their website. Give them time. They will have that up, montgomerymotorsports.net. Also, Brock's Performance, if you're looking for exhaust, air filter, whatever you need, hit up brocksperformance.com. You know we sell that stuff as well. Use discount code MOREMAFIA5. Get yourself 5% off. I got this dumb looking strap here in the way, but that blue matches that blue perfectly. Super good exhaust. That's the Brock's Performance Pentacarbon. Not only do they sound absolutely insane, but they absolutely perform insane too. Overall, way to go on the modifications from Brock's Performance, BT Moto, and Montgomery Motorsports. We test and tune and figure these products out, helping companies like this all the time so we can get the best possible results for you. Hit us up, moremafia.com, if you got any questions, or if you want to get your 2026 worked on, 2025, 2022, whatever you got, 2018, doesn't matter. Hit us up, moremafia.com. We'll be glad to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next time.